The nice people.
This is the Veteran Wargamer. I am your host, Jay Arnold. Joining me, the Dean of the Hobby, Mr. Henry Hyde. Henry, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much, Jay. I think you shrunk about 6 feet to fit into the picture. Hi, everyone.
And joining me here in the Pleasant Hill studio is the Junior Wargamer himself, Joey. Joey, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, so as typical with our games.
I just came in here to check on Henry.
Okay, Joey came in here to check on you, Henry, he says.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. I'm okay.
Very nice, Joey. Thank you.
I'm just playing with some micro clips, foreshadowing to what we're playing.
If people can hear clattering, it's because we're still identifying red alert units and sticking them on their bases.
Yep.
Well, I'm just going to give you some entertainment.
No entertainment.
What's funny? Crack a joke.
No. Okay, you can crack a joke. Go ahead.
Where do farts go to school? The Institute.
Go ahead. All right.
Please laugh in the comments.
Okay, folks. We're just identifying. People are wondering what the heck's actually going on. We've been using, in the game, you get the task force cards that tell you what units you've got. You draw a card randomly, and then you place the counters representing them on the table. And, just trying to identify what units constitute what is quite interesting. So, where's my card? There's my card. I'm nearly there. I think I'm nearly there, Jay.
Okay, very good.
You just clicked on something.
Something. I'm going to have to lose something at this rate.
Me.
Okay. Right.
All right, Derek. Derek Fulton says, boom, boom. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning, Derek.
Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. That's what my grandma says when it's the.
When we say Derek, is that Derek Hodge?
Fulton, I think.
Derek Fulton. Hi, Derek.
Or I could be wrong. Derek, anyway.
Now that we're still setting up, here's some more entertainment.
No, Joey, please don't. All right. Well, I fight it, right?
And also, this is on top of my mom's sewing machine.
Yeah, the camera is firmly affixed to Joey's mom's sewing machine because she has been sewing surgical masks for
people with the you know what.
Well, folks
virus.
that work in.
No, you'll be demonetized if you say it.
I don't worry about monetization, Joey. Now stop.
I know. Organs can be pretty bloody, but.
Okay, I am so close. I am literally, I think I've just got 3 points to allocate.
Not that pretend that never happened.
Okay. Derek says we're right on the name. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. So I think I'm sort of done.
He says.
There's nothing I can buy for 3 points. So I think I'm ready, Jay.
Okay, very good. Me too.
Ready.
So I think at this point, I'm sure someone who's better versed in the rules than us will correct us. But the way we're going to play it now is we'll take turns deploying units.
Okay. So, right. Also, and then do we choose the command cards afterwards, Jay?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
So
this is going to be
who's
fun.
going first?
So, right, hang on. I can put those. Oh, I can put those back in the box. Oh,
I'm just getting some sun drops so I can stay awake.
the excitement of it all.
Okay.
Or, as Roxy Music sang all those years ago, the thrill of it all. Are you too young for that, Jay?
I'm not particularly familiar with them. I'm aware of them, but I'm not familiar with them.
So who goes first in deploying?
That's an excellent question. The book says, okay.
This is going to be fun.
Okay, Uncharted supply base. Historical background. Spies have reported that there is a pre-war supply base in the sector. The report did not state its exact location, but intelligence places the base near the enemy deployment. Your orders are to break the enemy line of battle, and once the opposition line is broken, locate the supply base and occupy it. The enemy, it also seems, is aware of the supply base, but intercepted transmissions report they also do not know its exact location. The battle lines are drawn, and you are in command. The result is history. History?
Yeah, history.
The rest is history. Yeah. There's a question mark there. Okay, so we both get 5 command cards and 4 combat cards and 5 stars. Just a reminder that the stars are used to perform various special actions like battling back and following up in battle and that sort of thing.
People, that is a star.
Yeah, a little token.
Hey, Joey, if you walk in front there, mate, I can't see your dad and I can't see the table.
Sorry, I was just going to get some paper
Okay.
to draw what was going on.
Okay. So victory comes at 21 victory points or the elimination of 8 opposition units. So since you're listed first, I'm going to presume that means that you go first.
Okay. Do we randomly draw 5 command cards to start with as well?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm
4
shuffling.
combat cards.
There's just
Right.
some stuff.
Right, so command cards, I'm shuffling. I am shuffling. Shiftly shuffle. Shall I do a riffle shuffle? Like the Las Vegas. I'm not brilliant at shuffling, but let's get Las Vegas on you all. There you go.
We're just going to say that I shuffled my cards already.
I think, are you trying to say you put them in the right order, Jay?
They're in the same order that they went in the box last time I played, which is around Christmas. So
Okay. Right, I've shuffled because I'm an honest man. So I've shuffled. I'm dealing myself out 5 command cards. 2, 3, 4, 5. And
good friend of ours, Eric Huck, says good morning / afternoon, gents. Good morning, Eric.
Eric Hawks.
Huck.
Huck. Hi, Eric.
Like Huckleberry Finn. Eric also says, nice setup, very clear. Thank you very much. That we're using StreamYard on this, Eric. And then Michael Campbell says, good morning, everyone.
Hi, Michael. Yeah, I saw your name come up. I have to say, Jay, the sound quality on this is excellent.
Like every other live stream.
Well, thank you very much.
It's really clear, crystal clear. So we've got.
I was kind of nervous about that because our internet here in the sticks is pretty terrible usually.
I know we've had some excitement with it in the past. Right, so that's that. So now I've got my command cards. What do we do with the combat cards, Jay?
Those are like special actions you can use during the game, and usually if you take a look at one that's got the star in the upper left, that's how many star tokens you have to spend to activate that that card.
So do we deal off this deck?
Yeah, you take 4 into your hand.
I take 4 combat cards. Okay, so let me do that. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Woo! Shuffle. Shiftly shuffle, shuffle. Okay, I'm shuffling the combat cards. And let's take 1, 2, 3, 4 off the top.
Shuffling.
Okay. And I look at my combat cards.
Ew.
Okay, move that other chair. No, you can go ahead and sit there.
Okay.
Ow! I stubbed my toe.
Well, pay attention to where the table leg is. You want to stub your toe?
Don't scold me for being hurt.
I'm not scolding you for being hurt.
Well, Kazam. I thought.
Okay, in typical game and chat circumstance, we're not ready to go. So if anybody has any questions while we're setting up, either about the game or how Henry's doing, how we're doing, how, if you just want to make a comment about how you're doing, we'd like to know.
Yeah, how are you all doing in the coronavirus lockdown, which seems to be pretty much all around the world now?
Well, I can tell you that Eric is playing in my Discord Kriegspiel.
What?
Oh, cool.
What's a Discord Kriegspiel?
It's what I've been tapping away on the computer all yesterday.
Oh, okay.
All right, and John Yingling joins us. John, how are you? John and I met when we were out at Gettysburg. He helped run the war game for my officer candidates. Good morning to you, John. No, it's not a beard. It's a Diet Sun Drop.
Yep.
I don't know if you have Sun Drop out in Pennsylvania there, John, but
It's good. Refreshing.
it's a citrusy drink.
Oh, right.
It's kind of like Fanta. but
You
without
foreigners,
the-
eh? You foreigners and your funny drinks, eh?
This live stream is sponsored by Stove of Death.
Stove of Death.
Yep. It's a Stove of Death. Let's get a little
Right,
bit
Jay.
of the Stove of Death.
Jay.
All out Legos.
Okay, Joey. All right, go ahead, Henry.
It's basically just a heavy
Right,
metal.
Jay. Okay, I think I'm ready to go.
It's basically just a stove made of heavy metal.
Yeah. Joey, it makes no difference if you whisper, buddy. He's coming through crystal clear.
Well,
Yeah.
it's basically
Okay, my friend, should we get
just a
started?
heavy metal stove.
Let him talk.
Okay.
Joey's very excited. Go ahead, Henry. You were saying?
I was saying, I think I'm ready for us to get started, my friend.
Okay, I am too. I've got my forces selected. In this scenario, the unlike other Commands and Colors games, the Red Alert game allows you to choose your own forces right out of the box. And in this scenario, we were to draw a task force card, and then you have additional points and to buy additional forces. Now we're going to go ahead and we have preset deployment points or deployment areas, but
Yep.
Henry's going to start and go from there. Just to get caught up with some comments real quick. Eric says, haha, I was thinking the same thing about Joey's beer starting pretty early and early AM.
It's not
Well, here's the
beer.
deal, Eric. You can't say you've been drinking all day if you don't start in the morning.
You can't say beer sometime.
Then Derek asks, can Henry say we all at an appropriate moment?
You bet.
And then John likes the angle of Henry's camera. It's a good angle on the table. I could
you.
probably mess around with mine, but at this
You
point,
might notice the important T-shirt as well. Battle Games on Patreon.
indeed, Battle Games on Patreon. Yep. Yeah. While we're doing this, it probably wouldn't hurt to go ahead and plug Henry's Patreon as well as Gladius Publications.
Bless you.
Henry is really putting the spurs to what's going on with Patreon and his Gladius Publications especially. So check those out. Throw him a few bucks a month. He would certainly appreciate it. There are some really cool perks that come with that. And maybe during a break in the action, we can have Henry tell us more about that.
Cool.
Okay. Are you ready for your first unit deployment?
The sun drop is sour.
I think so. So do we actually put the models on, or do we use their little cards?
Yes. The little tokens.
So we swap these tokens for the little tokens for that unit.
Yeah, because if you recall, that's how we track how many victory points we've accrued.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, my goodness me. Well, I haven't sorted out my little tokens. Oh, there's always so much to do. Oh, my goodness me. There's so many things to do. Well, give me a moment then to sort out.
You're the supply depot.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There's so many bits. What I will say to people, if you do buy the Red Alert game, you get value for money because there's so many components in the box.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
There are so many components in the box to the point where it's kind of boggling, really. Okay. So when it says heavy fighter on the token, that represents a squadron, obviously, doesn't it?
Yep, that's 3 models.
Yeah. Okay. So then we got that, and we got that, and we got that, and there's some lots of models as well. I was going to ask you, Jay, did some of your models when they arrived were they slightly wonky?
Yeah, some are a little bent, but you know what? Once you get them on the table en masse, you can't even notice.
But I heard a tip. Someone said if you drop them into very hot water or something for a minute or two, apparently they straighten out.
Yeah, you got to physically bend them and then shock them back into place with, or set them in place, I should say, with cold water.
Yeah. So I haven't done that yet, but if I'm going to be painting them potentially anyway, I'll probably do that because,
Sure.
give them a wash with a bit of detergent or something in any case. So I'll give that a try because it doesn't look good if your dreadnought's wonky, mate.
No.
You don't want a wonky dreadnought, that's for sure. So
yeah,
anyway.
a girlfriend of mine in college broke up with me because I had a wonky dreadnought.
What's a wonky dreadnought?
Well, exactly.
You learn when you're in college. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, John asks, at the end, can Henry give us a health update if he wishes?
A health update. Yeah. I could even give a very quick update now whilst I'm just sorting out my tokens here.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Basically, I thank you for asking. I'm fine at the moment. Because of the coronavirus thing, all my radiotherapy for the prostate cancer has been postponed indefinitely. So I would be surprised if they get started until later in the summer, because obviously the hospitals here, all the spare staff they can scrape off any of the other wards, they're heading towards the intensive care units to look after incoming coronavirus patients. I'm okay. The hormone therapy I'm on has been working. My blood PSA levels have dropped right down from the 7.7 I had when I was diagnosed. They've dropped right down to 0.26, which is great. And also the tumor that's actually in my prostate gland itself has shrunk slightly, which they're pleased with. The bit of cancer that got out into my lymph node, one of the lymph nodes, hasn't. They say it's stable. I say it's stubborn, right? But obviously they're trying to put a positive gloss on things. But basically, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not going to die anytime soon. If anything happened to me, it'd be the coronavirus that's responsible rather than the cancer. So for the time being, the fact that they've postponed my treatment, actually, I'm quite happy with, because the thought of schlepping to, have daily radiotherapy sessions Monday to Friday every week for 7.5 weeks in the middle of the coronavirus crisis, that would be quite scary, I'll be honest. So the fact that they've decided to postpone my radiotherapy, I'm absolutely fine. But thanks for asking. I'm fine.
Okay, and actually, John's got a question another question from John. He asked, will this be something companies will have trouble coming back from? John, for clarification, are you saying companies in general or hobby companies? I think that's an excellent question, and you're probably better suited to answer that than I am, Henry.
Well, the news recently, I think the biggest piece of news that I reposted from their site yesterday is that War Games Illustrated, for the foreseeable future, will not be producing a print-based magazine because I think they have a decent subscriber base, but they rely very heavily on impulse purchases made by hobbyists at local, friendly local gaming stores and in high street newsagents and stationery shops. And I can hear that. So the thing is that they obviously are extremely vulnerable to the massive downturn in business because all our high street newsagents and stuff and magazine sellers have basically closed their doors, which is perfectly understandable. So they've decided to go digital only, which is a huge decision, by Dan at War Games Illustrated, obviously in consultation with his team. And we can only wish him luck. Apparently, they're going to be producing a new PDF publication to kind of go alongside their what is it called? War Games Illustrated Prime or something. They've got an online thing already. So they're going to be producing a regular little kind of PDF magazine as well. And obviously, they've had to say to people who are subscribers to the print magazine, well, we're really sorry about this, but we can't give any indication as to when or even whether we're going to be able to return to doing the print magazine. So I imagine, this is having a massive impact on their cash flow. So we can only wish them the very best of luck. Now, for War Game Soldiers and Strategy and Miniature War Games, the situation's slightly different. First of all, I say a little bit about War Game Soldiers and Strategy. Because first of all, they're only bi-monthly, so they don't get so affected by the monthly downturn in business that War Games Illustrated does in terms of sales on newsstands. The other thing is that War Game Soldiers and Strategy, I know, has an extremely big, big in today's terms, not big in 1980s terms, but big in today's terms, subscriber base. So even though there's obviously going to be a downturn in, newsagent sales, shops in the UK like WH Smith's or in the States like, I suppose, Barnes and Noble, something like that, it's not going to be as significant a hit for WSS as it is for War Games Illustrated. So they, for the time being, have made the decision to carry on producing their print version and sending it out to their many subscribers. If people are at all concerned about that, their subscriptions or whatever, obviously I would advise that they contact War Game Soldier and Strategy. That's Guy Bowers is the editor, and Jasper Orthois, of course, is the head of Carvanserai Publishing, that also do Ancient Warfare, Ancient History magazine, Medieval Warfare, and so on. So they've got quite a stable of product. But for the time being, as far as I'm aware, and I know they've been reassuring their advertisers of this because I design adverts for at least one of their ad customers, their doors are staying open. Obviously, consult their Facebook page, Twitter account, and so on for updated information as time goes by. Miniature War Games is in yet another interesting situation because Miniature War Games is owned by the Warner's Group, that also owns Tabletop Gaming Magazine and many other hobby magazines. And they, in turn, Warner's is a huge printing company. So the magazine arm of Warner's is effectively a subsidiary of one of the biggest web press printing companies in the country. Now, what that means is they don't have to worry at all in the same way about their print cost overhead, because effectively, if the magazines don't do so well because the shops are closed, that can be subsidized to a certain extent by the printing company that they're part of. So that puts them in a slightly unique position. I actually had a conversation with John Treadaway, who's the editor of Miniature War Games, yesterday, and he told me that he's had no indication at all from the management of the magazine or Warner's that they are going to be closing their doors anytime soon. And again, I think that Miniature War Games has a reasonable, reasonably large subscriber base. I don't know precisely. I don't think it's quite as big as the subscriber base of War Game Soldiers and Strategy, but I think it's reasonably healthy. So that's what I can tell you about those magazines, which, of course, for many people out there are that is their regular contact with the hobby. If they're not a member of a club or anything like that, in terms of some of the other companies, there have been some announcements from some of the big companies. So Warlord Games have closed their doors for the duration. Perry Miniatures have closed their doors for the duration. There may be some others. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's GMT Games, of course, in the board game market, has closed its doors for the duration. But they're still providing kind of updates and digital content on their websites. They still run their Twitter and Facebook accounts. So for updated information, keep your eyes on that. Oh, Perry Miniatures. Did I say Perry Miniatures closed their doors? There's bound to be some others. Plastic Soldier Company, as far as I'm aware, which is also, of course, PSC Games, they've kind of scattered their staff. So some are working from home, one or two are working from the factory. So they're kind of running a skeleton staff at the factory, but they're still open for business. What I would say, of course, is going to be true of all these companies, even if they're keeping their doors open, is that we need to be very reasonable with them, because there are likely to be delays in deliveries of orders, either because they're running a skeleton staff at their factory, or because, maintaining social distancing in an industry where people are used to working cheek by jowl means that everything takes twice as long, right? Also, the postal service is under increased strain because, many delivery drivers and postmen are off sick. So all I would say is that the best way to keep tabs on all this is to keep your eyes on the internet. Where I find out news, I'm posting it on my Twitter account at Battle Games. I've got my Facebook page, my Battle Games Facebook page, where if I find snippets of news, I'm posting it there. But also, if you've got any concerns at all, do contact companies direct. I can say a significant player, certainly in the UK market, that is keeping their doors open because they've made all kinds of arrangements to be able to do so. Caliber Books, who, sell loads and loads of War Games books, brand new, secondhand. They also sell, figures, they sell terrain and all sorts. They are managing, because they've got much more spacious premises these days, they're managing to keep their doors open and are working as normally as they possibly can. Also, significantly, a number of the War Games publishing companies seem to be cranking stuff out. Osprey publishing, Osprey Games, Helion and others, Casemate, Pen and Sword, are all operating relatively normally, because advances in print technology in recent years have meant that many what would have been very, very busy print factories can now actually be run almost completely automated or semi-automated with a skeleton staff. So you're not going to be short of reading material, folks. You'll see Amazon still operating, flat out. They've been taking on more delivery drivers and stuff. The publishing companies are working. Some figure manufacturers still appear to be working. I think Gripping Beast have made no announcement that they're closing their doors, for example, and there are going to be many others. So that's, I'm keeping my ear to the floor, to the railroad tracks, as it were, as closely as I can to keep tabs on all this. As and when news arrives, we're posting it. And I would just encourage anyone who's on social media, if you see a piece of news that's important, please don't just click like. Please retweet if you're on Twitter, or share if you're on Facebook, to make sure that the news is disseminated as far and wide as fast as possible. Okay?
Absolutely. Now, Henry, I think that's a good time to go ahead and deploy your first unit. Here we are, 30 minutes into the game. We're going to start playing.
And now I've got to remember what I've actually got. So I've got the counters. Okay. So,
John, thank you for your question.
Who's got a question?
No, I said I thanked John for his question. That was a comprehensive answer.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna. So we just replaced my trident thing with the actual counter, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And do I tell you what it is that I've deployed?
Well, that'd be nice.
Oh, I thought I could keep it secret. That's a unit of fighters, buddy.
Oh. Okay. Let's find some red fighters.
Never mind. It's too big to be a fighter.
Okay, where are you putting that?
So that is on my extreme left flank.
Okay. Yep.
Unfortunately, this game doesn't have numbers.
No bitch.
I think for future, Jay, we should actually write little numbers on our hexes.
I tried that once, but you didn't want to play along. Here.
Almost me.
Yeah, and then set it there. Okay, red fighters.
They're close to the. They're close to the.
Put it in the same hex, buddy.
So I need. Oh, hang on. I need the green ones. Oh man, it's so complicated. So, at what point do we actually put the models on, Jay?
Well, I just put the models on now.
Oh, so I could put my models on instead of the little counters.
Well, you do both.
Right. Okay. I'm just being dumb.
Oh, well, someone has a question.
There you go. I've got a nice little. Can people see that? Nice.
Yep.
You point out that with the distinction between a fighter unit and a heavy fighter unit is a fighter unit has 3 models and a heavy fighter unit has 4.
Okay.
John Hayes has a question.
Hold on, Joey. Okay, Eric Huck says, Henry, this is for you. He says, sounds like Henry has been dipped in hot water and shocked back into place with cold water. Good to hear. Okay, and then John Haynes asked, are there specific victory conditions? Yes, John, in this scenario, just to recap, we are playing scenario number 2, Uncharted Supply Base. That's on page 36 of your rule book. Victory is achieved with 21 victory points or the elimination of 8 opposition units. Thank you for the question, John.
Not the burning question of the day, though. The burning question of the day is...
We're getting some good questions.
We are. We're getting great. We always have the best viewers.
We do. We're a class act, Jay. I'm not sure what class, but it's a class act.
The burning question of the day is this is World War III, because those look like bombers to me.
They do kind of look like bombers, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't the red fighters look like bombers to you?
Right, Jay, are you deploying something, buddy?
Yeah. I'm going to, here in the center, kind of center to your left, right on the line.
Yeah.
Your left section marker or sector marker, whatever term you want to use.
Yeah.
It's going to be a unit of fighters.
Okay. So, there's the scenario map.
Yep.
So,
yep, right there. Yep.
Right there in between. So, just where that line of asteroids is, and there's a unit of fighters. So, hang on. Green tag fighters. So, right there. So, I need 3 little green models.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Now, for those of you who are listening at home that aren't, or watching at home, I should say, that aren't familiar with the history of Red Alert, when Red Alert was first announced and Plastic Soldier Company put it out as a Kickstarter, originally they were just going to have one set of ship designs, and then with feedback from the backers are asking, "Hey, how come we can't get two different fleet designs?"
Yeah.
And so they went ahead and made a design for a second fleet. And that's how we have different colors and different ship models.
Yeah.
That's your history class, people.
Plus, there's all kind of expansion packs, well, yeah, it's all very interesting stuff. Actually, it's a hugely comprehensive game, and of course, for people who are really curious, we should point out that this is based on the Commands and Customs, Commands and Colors system devised by Richard Borg. Where we very frequently play Commands and Colors Ancients, Napoleonics. There's medievals now as well, isn't there?
There is. Okay, Derek asks, is that the famous bookshelf I can see at Henry's rear?
What's up Henry's rear?
Is that the famous bookshelf?
It's one of the famous bookshelves. It's not the famous bookshelf, which is round the corner behind where I'm standing now. And unfortunately, I'd have to point my book. That bookshelf is in that direction, folks, and I can't do much about that. But if there's a particular book you'd like to see off that shelf, let me know.
All right, we're ready for the next deployment, Henry.
Yeah, I'm just because of course I'm realizing I have to deploy your little ships as well, which means I'm hurriedly just pranging a few green ships onto their bases. Obviously, you could just surrender now, which would save me all this trouble, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, not impressed. Let me get some fighter models out because you've got all these. I do like the green fighters. Would you like to show the people the difference between the green fighters and the red fighters? Because I think the green fighters are kind of cool. They've got a much more sort of alien look to them, haven't they?
We showed you the green fighters in that epic space battle, but now here's the red fighters. Don't they look like World War II bombers? Don't they?
Something like that. Anyway, I think the
back it up a little bit.
Yeah, you're a bit blurred, buddy. Love the enthusiasm, though. Love the enthusiasm.
Joey's very enthusiastic about just about everything.
Fantastic. Right. You're waiting for me to now do my second deployment, aren't you, buddy?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so I think I've done enough of your green stuff. People are wondering, what the heck's going on? Okay, Henry. Henry is going to take a unit of, excuse me, a unit of heavy fighters.
Oh, goodness.
And he's going to put those here. So that's 4 fighter models, and they are over in my right sector, next to the dividing line, and it's just behind. There's 2 asteroid fields.
Okay.
I forgot about this trophy, the gold trophy.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'll take off that token. So that's my second deployment, buddy.
Okay, let me find the heavy fighter token real quick.
Excuse me. It's just a frog in my throat. People, don't panic. It's not the virus.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Starting with the small stuff and working our way up.
All right. We need fighters.
Well, if you want fighters, we have them right here.
Yeah, we need red fighters, buddy.
Okay. So I have a terrorist allied with us.
Well, I hope not.
Because they might just bring the death stove into our base.
Here,
And then put C4 in it, making a flaming
So,
explosion.
should we take a vote from viewers? Viewers, who thinks that Jay's going to win? And who thinks I'm going to win?
Oh no.
Based on the pathetic performance of both of us so far. Just setting the damn thing up.
Okay. All right.
I can hear the birds singing outside your window, Jay.
It's a spring morning here in central Illinois. All right. Okay.
Please to
Eric
report.
says Eric thinks the Reds going to win. Eric is, of course, playing on the red side in the Kriegspiel, so.
Oh, hang on. So Eric just said, yes, sorry, Henry, Red Republic all the way.
Well, I'm not sure why I say sorry, Eric, because Henry is playing red. We decided to wear T-shirts of our faction.
Hello.
I just substituted with gray.
Okay.
Because Dad gave me a gray shirt.
Okay. John Yingling and Derek both think that Joey's going to win, so.
Thank you.
Hi, Derek, by the way. Hope you're doing
well. Okay. Joel Franklin has signed in. Joel Franklin is also playing in the Kriegspiel. He's one of the J3 guys.
Hi, Joel.
And Joel says hex-based games look ideal for remote play. Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
And as Henry and I have proven numerous times before on this channel. And Michael Campbell says, speaking of ships in this game, guess what I'm putting the first coat on while you guys set up? Excellent. Michael, if you'd share pictures on Twitter or Facebook and tag Henry and me in them, we would appreciate it.
Excellent. I tell you who I saw. Oh, crikey. Someone I saw on Twitter has been painting the Red Alert ships. And, it's Matt, isn't it? Matt, who's the professional painter on Twitter. Matt, I've forgotten your surname at the moment, mate. Sorry about that. Gosh, slap myself. He did some he used contrast paints to the Red Alert ships, and they look great. Really good. I think he undercoated one fleet with the grey undercoat that Citadel do, and the other fleet with the beige undercoat.
It's my turn, isn't it?
Yes, it is, because I just deployed my heavy fighters.
Okay, well, I will deploy some fighters as well on my extreme right, your extreme left, and that's away and to the left of this leftmost. Yep, right there. Yep.
So
right there. That's
just behind
fighter unit.
Fighter unit. So just ordinary fighters.
Yep, 3 fighter models.
So there, and they're kind of cute, the little green fighters.
Okay, Derek says, "G'day, Henry."
G'day, mate.
And Joel says, "I'm putting my money on Henry. Go red." Yeah, Joel is also playing in the red faction in the Kriegspiel. So,
a man of taste and distinction, clearly.
Which team? Forest or forest fire?
Oh, good point. Green, the color of life.
And red, the color of destruction.
Destruction, death, and
color of blood.
And Mario.
If you don't watch yourself, you'll end up getting defenestrated and being on the red side.
Yes, this is what will happen to you.
Right, so I've got that in the correct position then, Jay. Right down there in your right-hand corner. Okay. Time for me to deploy something a bit more meaningful.
Uh-oh.
I think what's going to happen here. I'm going to deploy my flagship with fighter escort. And so that, Jay, is right in my center, literally on the center line of hexes. So it's 1, 2, 3 hexes in. Got this?
Okay, we'll be able to catch up. We'll be able to catch up just as soon as I figure out which model is the flagship.
Do you want me to hold it up to the camera?
Yeah, that's not helping much.
Let's look at the
if you look in the rule book, Jay, on page
Look at the instructions. Are you mad?
Well,
Fantastic.
look
Okay.
at all the figures in the
It's
inside.
All right, let's take a look.
page 7 of the rule book, mate.
Probably in the core book, it'll tell you what Fidwalkers are.
Page 7 of the rule book today.
Okay. All right. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. Okay. All right, I think that's it. Is that it? All right, we're going to go with it until I can find a better unit. No, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay, and where are we going with that?
So it's literally on my center line of hexes between the 2 dotted lines.
Okay.
1, 2, 3
Here.
hexes in. Okay,
And that goes with 3 fighters, and that's your flagship.
correct. It's a big boy, folks. Capable of probably many things if I was to look at what it's capable of.
All right.
So that's a big boys come out of the box.
Okay, Derek has a useful comment of RTFM. Well, thank you very much. And then Michael Campbell, actually with a useful comment, says, "That's what I'm using. Contrast are great for smaller scale models." Yeah, I've got some 3mm Soviets, some World War II 3mm Soviets. I want to do kind of a quick paint on just to show that it can be done. I'm going to use the contrast. No, those are the 6mm, buddy.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay, so it's my turn to set a unit, right?
Yep.
Well, I think the only sensible thing to do is to meet your flagship with my flagship.
Oh,
Basically the same place.
Vengeance is ours.
okay. So opposite mine. So because I can see on the map, there's a group of 3 units side by side. So the left, as I'm looking at it,
Yep.
the one right on the center line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh my God. So what does the green flagship look like?
It's got like a little frisbee on top.
A frisbee.
You know, something
A frisbee on top.
that you someone. You play
Frisbee on top. Okay, I'll go look at what I think the green flagship might look like. Frisbee on top. What kind of frisbee do you play, buddy?
Okay, Joey's going to show you in the camera shot.
See?
Well, hang on. I'm a long way away. Could
Back
you
up.
move
Lower.
your finger? Hold it by the base. Up a bit. Up. Closer.
Right there.
Turn it so I can see the top. Oh, okay. I think. Flagship. Is that a flagship? I don't know. There's some really big.
I'm just gonna let you inspect it more.
It's not as big as the battleships.
Oh, okay. Is there just one of them in the box? Or?
Should be.
Okay, because I've got some really enormous things here. Oh
Those of you just joining us, I see that someone has just joined in. We are eventually going to play this game.
Yes, sorry. Identifying ship models. It's a bit like those World War II diagrams that they gave to. Oh, hang on. I see the frisbee.
Yep.
So it's actually quite slim, whereas the other things are really fat.
Yep.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, we are.
So that is there.
Yep.
Okay.
And 3 fighters, if you would.
Yeah, I'll do that in a second. So that's the flagship. Wow. 3 little wiggly fighters.
We're emphasizing the chat on this episode of Game and Chat.
I know what's going to happen. Just as we've got it set up, you're going to say, Henry, we've got to go, buddy. Right, so that's set up. So I'm going to very quickly deploy some things that are probably little things like that. It's a group of destroyers, okay, and they're going to go. Oh no! So now, hang on. The destroyers we deploy one at a time, don't we? I'm being thick. Is that right? Or do you deploy the destroyers as a group?
Well, just like any other unit, once the unit's there, the unit's there. I would think.
It's just that on my card. Oh, hang on a minute. So a group of destroyers is 3 models, and I've got more than one group of. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, my brain's turning into a. Okay, so I'm putting a set of destroyers. The left-hand sector line.
Your left or my left?
My left. So you're right.
Okay.
3 hexes in, just tucked in behind that asteroid belt. There's a unit of destroyers.
Okay.
So I've now worked out I've got to go and base up a load more destroyers. So you have a think for a minute while I raid the packets.
Yeah, no worries. Well, to kind of go on with what you were saying in response to John Ying's question about how hobby companies are going to fare through this, there are plenty of companies that are producing PDF content.
Yeah.
And that's perfect for social distancing. Of course, shameless plug for Henry once again. His Gladius Publications, he's been putting the spurs to it and really getting a lot of good content out recently. That it is pay to play, but it's worth it. He does good work. There's no doubt about that.
But also, we should point out that if people sign up for my Patreon or for the Gladius newsletter, there are discounts available.
I'm just drawing the blinds here at the Pleasant Hill studio because I think the shine is washing out the picture. So if you want to see the cornfield out back, just go ahead and rewind the video.
Where the corn is an elephant's eye.
Oh, that looks better.
Except for a few drunken people hunting.
There's no drunken people hunting.
I was just kidding.
It is turkey season. It's wild turkey season here. So.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Not that you'll hear any shotgun blasts through the window, but if we step outside, you'll probably hear some shotgun blasts.
Wow.
I heard some already.
Okay, Derek says you need a Jane's book so you can compare silhouettes. Well, that page 7 in the FM that you're talking about, Derek, it does show the silhouettes.
Page 7 in the FM. But does it show all the silhouettes or just the silhouettes of one side ships?
Well, that's a good question because I would bet that they had the book laid out before the Kickstarter went forward.
Yeah, I think they only show the silhouettes of my ships, I think.
Yep, you're right.
So that's why I was having
Their
trouble.
manual was overcome by events.
That's why I was having trouble identifying your flagship, buddy.
Okay. I've got your destroyers out.
Okay, I am. I'm just now realizing I've got loads more. There's lots of models in this game.
There are lots of models in this game.
Yeah, it's like when I think of how easy it is with the commands and colors, where you just got the wooden blocks, and this is like, oh my god, we're having to put kind of peg stands into all the blooming. Yeah. One of the things we ought to ask the people who've been kind enough to turn up is, are we just babbling in the background while they're actually concentrating on painting their miniatures, or are the poor people actually watching us desperately assembling models?
In this episode of Two Unorganized Gamers, excuse me, three. Joey's counting himself. Well, I know Michael is painting. I'd be interested to know if anybody else is painting. Speaking of PDFs, Osprey, both books and games, have a number of free PDFs. Osprey Games in particular have put out Frostgrave, the core Frostgrave book, for free, along with some solo scenarios.
Yeah, absolutely.
Joel and Eric, that might be up both of your alleys. Eric especially, because you have all those D&D figures.
I only have 3.
I know that the Two Fat Lardies have a significant discount on their
Chain of Command.
significant discount on Chain of Command and the Kriegspiel downloads, Henry.
Oh, right.
Okay. John Yingling pipes in. He is painting some 15mm poles for 1939. Joel, you and John need to get together because that's a shared interest there for sure.
Cool. Right.
John, are you using those? What are you using those for Chain of Command or some other game? Let us know in the comments.
Okay. I've assembled all the new. I just had one of those moments where one of the pegs broke off in the hole of one of the. That's one of the things that can happen with this, folks. I'm going to have to drill that out. But fortunately,
we'll be okay. Okay, is it my turn to deploy a unit then? I think it is.
Is it?
Yes, it's my turn now.
I never get a turn.
Yeah.
Please, can it be my turn?
Well, what unit do you want to deploy, Joey?
The flagship.
Flagship's already deployed.
Oh.
These are the units you can choose from.
I like the cruiser.
The cruisers? Okay.
Actually.
Set the cruiser token where you want it to go on any of the hexes that already have a green marker.
Okie dokie.
You can put them there. Okay, and these are the cruiser models.
So whereabouts is that, Jay?
2 hexes up, Henry, on your right alongside the right sector marker.
This is what cruiser looks like.
And Joey's going to show you what a cruiser looks like.
Okay.
And that's 3 models.
Yeah, I can judge what a cruiser looks like. Yeah, what I've done is I've lost my brain. I know I put it somewhere. Jay, can you remember where I put my brain, mate? I swear it was here a minute ago.
What are you needing?
Oh, sorry, the rule book. I tucked it under the table and forgot where I put it. That's cool. So,
okay, so John says C of C. I presume he means Chain of Command and not Corrosion of Conformity, the 80s and 90s metal band.
So where's that unit you just put? Some cruisers? Where is it?
If you look on your right sector line, 2 hexes up.
Okay, so just there.
Yep.
Okay, and it's
That'll do it.
Ordinary cruisers there. So there's 3 models, and they're going to be that size. That size thing, I imagine.
And while you're doing that, Derek says the mat looks great. Also, I'm mucking about with my birthday loot, Adeptus Titanicus. Well, very good. Are assembling, painting?
Adeptus Titanicus?
Yeah, big stompy robots.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to deploy.
Okay, yeah, your turn.
I'm deploying another unit of. I'm deploying a unit of cruisers.
Cruisers.
You remember where I put my heavy fighters?
Okay. Cruising for a bruising.
You remember where I put the heavy fighters just behind those 2 asteroids?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the hex that's bang on the dividing line, on my right, your left.
Got it.
Just behind the heavy fighters. Cruisers.
And that's heavy, so that's 4 elements.
No. It's ordinary cruisers 3.
Ordinary cruisers, excuse me. Well,
I
let's
don't have,
back the truck up there. Okay.
yeah. So we got the heavy fighters, but ordinary cruisers.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, you see where I put that token?
Yeah.
Can you put that one in? You see that one there? It's on the side. And that one too. All right, thank you, Joey.
Welcome.
Okay, while we're setting models, Joel says to John Yingling, brilliant.
Hi, Finny Finn.
I love the huge pull squads of Chain of Command. John confirms Chain of Command.
Does anyone want to see?
And then Joel says, and the 7 TP is a threat to any armor at my face.
Hey, anyone want to see my cat?
Of course we want to see the cat.
Okay.
Right, so it's over to you, Jay.
Okay, well, Joey's going to get the cat. You got to unlock the door. Letting the cat in.
Hold on, technical difficulty.
Okay, here comes Mr. Finn.
Hello, Mr. Finn.
All right. Well, let's do...
This
Okay.
is Finn,
Okay,
our cat.
here comes Mr. Finn.
He's a cute little bugger, isn't he?
Why there, Mr. Finn?
After a character in Star Wars. That's basically what we call all of our pets, except for Nana's pet.
Okay. All right, so what we're going to deploy next, what do you want to deploy next, buddy? These are the units you can choose from.
A heavy battleship.
Heavy battleship.
Heavy battleship. Is there such a thing?
Yeah, that's four battleship models.
Engaging
Wow.
metal music.
Get that?
So pick where you want those to go.
You want them to do.
How do you fit 4 battleship models?
Ghost has entered our live stream.
Very carefully.
Yes.
Okay.
Very carefully.
Okay. Go ahead and close that door, buddy.
So where have you put the battleships, buddy?
Okay, it's going to be on your far left.
Yeah.
Next, directly behind the asteroids.
Next to the fighter unit.
No, excuse me, on your right. On your right.
Oh, okay. Far right over in the corner.
Yes.
Okay. 4 battleships.
Yep.
How's that even legal?
Ah!
Finn, no!
How can you fit 4? That's impossible. They're
Come here.
they're so fat, your battleships. How can you fit 4 in a hex?
Well, for one thing, you probably don't have enough models to do it, so I'm substituting
Lock
a
is
cruiser.
stuck.
No, I've got 4 battleship models.
Lock is now stuck.
Well, Joey, hold on.
How can you have heavy battleship squadron? 4 well, I've crammed them in. I don't know if the folks can see, but there's not enough room in the hex, so they're spreading slightly outside the hex. That is just bonkers. This is like Flames of War, people. The tanks in Flames of War, isn't it?
The ghost can now not get in.
The people do wheel-to-wheel tanks. Crazy stuff. Okay, I don't think they thought through the designs of these ships, Jay.
Wait.
Well, if you vary the level, the height of the pegs, you can kind of fit them in there.
Well, I'm sure, but at the moment it's like, do you know what? That'll do. Whatever. A traffic battleship. Now, it should be, if we were playing any decent rules, that would classify as a dense target.
As opposed to a dense player, right?
I'm going to open up with canister on them.
Derek tells us that he is assembling his Adeptus Titanicus model. Son and his girlfriend surprised me with a Reaver Titan weapon sprue. He says, I'm never going to get back to my Napoleonic armies. Well, not with that attitude. I don't see why you couldn't play the Reaver Titan in a Napoleonic game, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Just gotta find them.
Eric says, new rule, any models the cat knocks over when it jumps on the table count as destroyed. I'm all for that, especially since he's probably going to jump on Henry's side.
Well,
Jack's the destroyer.
I'm about to deploy a unit of destroyers, I think.
Okay.
A unit of destroyers in between the flagship and the cruisers.
Fair enough. And there's the Space Cat.
Okay, so destroyers between, there we go, and it's just a 3-ship unit, ordinary destroyer.
The consumer of reality.
Look at this, the thin red line. This is right. This is British red, thin red line of stuff. I'm feeling confident. So say we all.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Joey, to see in between that big ship and the fighters and the other ships, go ahead and set those there, please.
Okay.
These are cruiseros.
Wait, where do I put them?
Right here, buddy.
Okay.
Hand me that token. Place it with that one. Okay. All right.
Oh no. This is double trouble.
We'll be all right. Don't sweat it. We'll make it work.
I wonder if then the consumer of reality will come back.
Eric says, I feel like every shout of So Say We All should reinforce green with another base star. And then in reference to the cat rule, Space Cat, John Haynes says only if the cat deployment card is used. So
Okay. Well, that doesn't
All right.
mean this, so I'll make one.
Okay, so all right, what else? We need to counter that threat in the center, and I think the only way to do that is with a unit of battleships.
Another unit of
That's going to
battleship.
go to the right. That is your right of the flagship.
Okay, so you're flat. So directly next to it,
Yep.
another unit of battleships. I don't think I've got enough models.
That will fake it.
That's really interesting. Hang on. I'll get some here. Okay, the only way I'm going to be able to do that then is actually to reduce the battleship units to 3 ships.
Yeah, just replace it with a cruiser model.
Well, what I'll do, mate, is next to the flagship here, I'm going to put 1 unit of 3 battleships. They fit better in the hex than the other one. So just remember that you should have 4 per unit. So if you lose one, it's
No. That's a regular battleship unit, Henry, in the center.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 3 units, just 3 models.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'll do for the other battleship unit, I'll shove something in there to.
Yep. Like I said, I used a cruiser.
Okay, I will do likewise then. One of these funky things.
Here's
It's
the
Bismarck class. This is the Bismarck class battleship.
consumer of reality. This is so dumb.
Joey, with his imagination, has indeed come up with a cat deployment card. So
It's called Finn the Consumer of Reality.
yeah, that's called the consumer of reality. And I'll take a snap of that later and put it up on Twitter so everyone can see it. It's,
Okay, mate. So all right, so it's me again, isn't it?
Yep.
Wow, okay. So this is getting serious. So what we're going to do over here on this side, I've got a unit of destroyers, you remember, over here behind the asteroids, and I'm putting next to them a unit of cruisers.
Okay.
Normal size 3-ship cruiser unit. Whoop. Okay, we're getting there. I think I've only got 3 more units to deploy.
Okay, so that's a regular cruiser unit.
Yep.
There we go. And that's next to the destroyers on your
Correct.
left.
Correct. So it goes destroyers, cruisers, and then out on the flank, the fighting. Okay.
All right.
1, 2. Oh, I'm missing something. What am I missing? Oh, function. Correct. 1, 2, 3. Correct. So 1, 2, 3. Correct. 1. Fighter. Okay.
Okay. Joey, do you want to pick another unit?
No, Misa want to move.
Well, it's not time for that. So I'll pick. I will put some. Let's do another battleship unit. And that's going to be on your left, Henry.
Come on, you let me.
Here behind.
You got all these battleships.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in real trouble portraying your units, Jay. Right, what am I going to do here? You made some choices that basically mean I'm not going to have enough models at this rate, my friend.
I'll use some tokens or something. We'll be all right.
Oh, it's the look of the thing. I'm really disgusted that you haven't gone to the level of actually putting unit descriptor transfers on your models, mate. It's shocking.
Instead of my hands for touching my face, I use my arm.
Okay, well, we're going to have an interesting time.
Oh, my arm.
So it's just an ordinary battleship unit, 3 models.
Correct.
Right, okay, so if you now tell me you want more cruisers and stuff, I'm going to be totally stuck.
No more cruisers, I promise.
Okay, right, so I can use some of those models. Let's have a look here. So, and where are they going, Jay?
Okay, on your left,
Yes.
there's this cluster of asteroids that already have fighters behind them. Yep, just to your right on that same row as the fighters.
Okay, so next to the fighters.
One more to your right.
Next to the dividing line.
Yep, right there.
Okay, buddy. Right, I'm going to do some mighty rearranging as the song goes. So that's going to have 2 of those sort of models and 1 of those sort of models, and that's going to have 2 of those models and 1 of those sort of models. Okay. We have to apologize to the viewers about the compromises being made that's spoiling the ultra-realistic look of this layout. Okay. Me.
Yep.
Destroyers. I've got the row with the flagship, destroyer, cruiser, and the heavy fighters just in front. I'm putting another unit of destroyers the other side of the cruisers. Okay. I can't believe how much extra heavy metal you've got.
By the way, this is made of silk.
Got that, Jay?
What's that?
You got that, this unit of destroyers?
Okay.
So it goes flagship, destroyer, cruiser, destroyer.
Okay.
I hear the dogs.
I hear the dogs also.
Now that's really interesting, the way you structure it. Being an editor, that's a very, I know it's a very American way of constructing a sentence.
What's that?
A wild group of
I
dogs
hear-
appeared with my mom.
I hear the dogs also. Whereas I would say, I also hear the dogs. Or I hear the dogs as well. That's a very American sentence. Thank you for that.
What? Chewie took your shoes?
Okay. All right, destroyers. I need to get into my bag of tricks here and pull out some destroyers then.
What we can also do for people who aren't initiated in the game, let me hold. I don't know, can they see the dice from here? I'll probably need to come a lot closer. But the commands and colors system dice, where you don't use D6 marked 1 to 6, they all have symbols on. And in this case, we have a red alert symbol, we have a green circle, we have a purple square, we have a blue triangle, we have a yellow star, and we have an orange explosion-y thing. And they all mean different things. When it comes to the combat, it will become clear.
Oh, I'm sure this is riveting viewing for everybody.
I need to turn off Twitter
As we're an
notifications.
hour 15 into the session.
Wow.
Yeah. Fortunately, the game's only going to take 2 minutes at this rate, looking at how many battleships you've got.
I'll get some faces, buddy.
BT does. What's the time?
The time is 8:15.
Here it's 2:15, 2:16 technically.
Okay, Joe, you want to pick another unit?
Heavy fighter.
Hold on, no. Out of these units, buddy. Okay, quit grunting and pick a unit.
Destroyer.
Okay, where do you want to put it?
Okay, not on the asteroid field. That'd probably be a bad idea, would it?
That'd be a good place.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Slightly on your right, Henry, between the battleships and the cruisers, we're putting a unit of destroyers right on the right dividing line.
So that's a unit of destroyers.
Correct.
Okay.
Here you go, buddy. Go and set them down.
Oh!
Careful.
That's okay, Mom. Yeah. That was pretty annoying music.
Destroyers. Okay, so destroyers are those little ones. So just three models, yeah?
Yes. Okay, so John doesn't mind the chatting because he says he's thinking about how much painting we're getting done.
Okay, then.
Joel reports, Henry, my favorite Britishism is Churchill's possibly apocryphal. This is something up with which I shall not put. Okay, and Derek tells us it's 12:16. I think maybe is Derek, are you in New Zealand perhaps or Australia? Because I think that might be just after midnight there.
New Zealand, the place of.
Right, you're waiting for me now, Jay, yeah? Okay, buddy. You're going to like this. Not a lot, but you're going to like it.
And then Eric's telling me that he's worked on the map of for our Kriegspiel.
Okay, buddy.
Congratulations, you got your shoe back.
Jay?
Yep.
Unit of cruisers. just behind and to my right of my flagship. Unit cruise. Who's there?
And what's going there?
Cruisers.
Cruisers. Okay.
I'm feeling heavily outgunned at the moment, but hey.
Penguin.
And then after this, I've just got one more unit to deploy, buddy.
Okay. You said directly behind the flagship and to your right?
Yeah, there's the flagship with the destroyers next to them, the Hex right behind those two, in the middle of the table.
Okay.
Okay. Wahey.
Okay, go ahead and put that over there.
What?
Please. That cruiser. Here, go around the other side.
I've just turned on my overhead lighting as well because the weather's changing like crazy.
Right here.
No, right there.
Here?
Back. Back. Right there. Right there.
Thank you for... I was confused.
Well, that's okay. Now you know. Okay. Derek reports that, in fact, he is in Tasmania.
Oh, yes, that's right. People, I don't know if everyone who's watching is already on Twitter, but I did a post this morning of something I found. There was an article in the Guardian here in the UK talking about people kind of panic buying and shopping for stuff that they don't actually need right now, but there's stuff in their freezers and larders and cupboards and back garden sheds and everything. And the Germans have a wonderful word for it, which is Hamsterkauf. In the same way as a hamster basically fills its cheeks with more nuts and seeds than it can possibly eat at the moment. I think that's a wonderful word, Hamsterkauf. So the act of going out and panic buying, they call Hamsterkauf. Fantastic.
Like, that is not as great a word as my favorite German word, but it is pretty good.
What's your favorite German word? Is it repeatable in family viewing?
Oh, certainly. Staubsauger.
Staubsauger, a Hoover.
I wish to not know what it means.
It's a vacuum cleaner.
Oh, okay. I thought it meant something appropriate, but...
It's a duck sucker.
Right, Jay, am I waiting for you to place another unit, buddy?
Yes. I actually have more units selected than deployment points, so I'll sacrifice a unit, and I'll take that as additional stars. If you have more than 2 points difference, then you get stars. Did you not quite come up with 40 points?
Correct.
So is it more or less than... Is it 1 point or 2 or more?
2 or more.
Go ahead and add 2 stars to your tally.
Ooh! Ooh!
Okay, Joey, destroyers or fighters?
I'll tell you. Oh, hang on. Mike is saying he wants to go out, but he can't go out. It's just a
Destroyer.
Okay.
Hey, Joey, this is my cat. One of my cats, Chuffy. Can you see?
Okay, if he walks on the table, well, you can draw down Jeffy, the consumer of reality.
Chuffy.
Oh, Chuffy, the consumer of reality.
Chuffy, the consumer of reality. She's an old girl, bless her. She's
in another universe.
Okay, watch the map. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're behind the heavy battleships. We're deploying a standard unit of destroyers.
So that's over in your left corner.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. What unit of destroyers?
A standard unit, three ships.
Okay. So to the outside?
Yes.
Yeah. So just here.
Yep. 2 in from your right and behind the.
Oh, 2 in. So in that hex.
Yep.
Because you've got a half hex, a full hex, and then the hex you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay. Destroyers. Okay.
Is it really bright
Right.
out?
Are you ready for my last unit, Jay?
Yes, please.
You're going to like this
Too.
because I don't know what you're going to use for it, but I've opened one of the expansion boxes and I'm deploying a dreadnought
Mm.
Oh no.
on
Where's he going?
my far right flank, just tucked in behind the destroyers.
Okay, that's okay. We can use a dreadnought token in battleship models.
Yeah, it's just one model with 3 fighters.
Okay.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, and you're probably all heaving sighs of relief, that, ladies and gentlemen, is my deployment. Oh my God, he's actually finished deploying.
Hey, Henry, what's the how many hexes does that dreadnought move?
It moves 35 hexes. No, it doesn't. It's on the card here somewhere. It's on the flip side of the card.
Although this is green, this is going to be a green light.
Okay, I see.
Got it? So it's dreadnought on 3 fighters. The fighters must move with the dreadnoughts. Sublight movement. I don't know. Where does it tell me? Which number's the movement? The first one.
Yeah, it's got the hex next to it.
All right, it's 3 then. So it's 3, 3. Oh, that's the battle.
No, dreadnought's 1 hex of movement.
Oh, I see. So literally, that hex symbol means it moves one. Oh, okay. Oh, that's quite clever.
Just substitute this guy as a dreadnought.
We're not going to do that. Put that back. Where'd you find it?
Yeah.
Plastic Soldier Company, bless their hearts, sent me all their expansion packs, and I was so low on stuff. I thought, hey, let's give it a run out.
Okay, well, I'm going to use a battleship model to simulate that. Because I've got the dreadnought, but I don't have it here.
Oh no!
Where is it though?
That's at the other house.
That cost me 40 points, Jay.
Well, I hope to see it go up quickly then.
Oh, I've actually got. I'm reading the little leaflet that comes with it, so it tells me that it does that.
I just gotta substitute the dreadnought. Not for dreadnought, but for no. Okay, fine. I was going to use my luck as a dreadnought.
Okay. We got it, buddy. We got it. All right. Well, the last unit then is a unit of fighters.
Oh!
And that's going to be on your left between the battleships and the fighters that are already on the board.
All right, hang on.
Okay. Just to get caught up with some comments here.
So, sorry, where's that, Jay?
On your left
Yep,
between the fighters and the battleships that are already there.
right here. On
No.
the dividing line.
No.
On the back of the asteroid.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, I just make a joke. I guess Dad's dread not.
Need some work. Need some work, buddy. Okay, just to get caught up, Eric asked if we had any tornadoes where we are. No, we didn't. He says we did have some pretty heavy wind, but he says, I'm guessing no, since you have a house and backyard still. Yeah. And then John says, my board is very dark. Well, the sun's come out, and I've got the sun to my back, so we'll just have to live with it.
Yeah, this is why I've set up angle poised lamps around my table. Yeah, because I can't see it. Yeah.
We'll just use yours, Henry. It's okay.
He's disappeared. Asteroid field. So asteroid terrain effects of asteroid fields. A unit ordered to move into an asteroid field hex must stop and move no further this turn. When an ordered unit moves onto an asteroid field hex, roll 1 die. If a red alert is rolled, place a red alert marker on the unit.
Okay, now an hour and a half in, we're ready to play.
Pathetic, isn't it? Absolutely pathetic.
Finally.
Okay. Well, let's get moving. The way the game starts is that each player chooses a command card for their first move and reveals it and the first I just got a look of shock from my spouse that we're just now starting. So we got lowest value goes first, and then you're committed to that card.
Lowest value, what goes first?
You take a command card out of your deck.
Yeah.
And you reveal it, and the lowest value of ships moved or units moved is the one that goes first.
Oh, I see. So I have to choose whatever the lowest value card I've got is, basically.
Well, it doesn't have to be the lowest value, just whichever card we each choose, and then we reveal it. The lowest between the two of us goes first.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll. Are you revealing? Because I can't see anything, mate. You are as black as.
We'll just have to read it. It's okay.
Okay, I'm revealing a probe center card with a value of 2.
I'm also revealing a probe center card with a value of 2.
So do we go to the next one?
Yeah, let's go ahead and pick another one.
So probe right wing, order issue of 2.
I'm going to go with assault center with 4, so you go first.
Okay, so I just put these cards back in the pack, in my hand.
In your hand.
Right, I'm actually going to go. My first move is going to be recon in force in each sector, left, center, and right. Issue 1 order to 1 unit. Okay. In my left sector,
okay,
I am going to send forward my. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting because that's an interesting thing. I could count that as that. I could count that as that. Okay, I've got these destroyers that are right on the dividing line there, and count as either sector. So I'm going to select them as my center sector choice and send them. They go 2 hexes, 1, 2, so they are in the gap between your asteroids, effectively 2 hexes in front of where they were. Got that? So they've just gone 1, 2.
Got it.
Okay. So they're just to the left of that other asteroid field. Got it?
The dogs are.
I'm
currently
tracking.
barking.
I'm gonna have to mute my mic periodically. The dogs are barking at the slightest provocation.
Okay, mate. As long as you can hear me. So that's the first thing. I'm going to, in the center, I'm going to send forward this destroyer unit, okay, next to the flagship. So I'm moving those 1, 2, so they are tucked in just to the side of that asteroid field there. Okay? Got that? Okay. Do a thumbs up or something if you heard that, Jay. Good. Okay, and on the right flank, on the far right flank, my dreadnought is moving 1 hex kind of out to the side of the destroyers. Okay, so that's on my far right, the dreadnought, just 1 hex to the side. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're listening to me on my own. Jay appears to have disappeared to deal with dog. I hope everyone's well. Hope you're all well. Here in the UK, we're getting some weird weather. We've had bright sunshine for days, and now we've got sleet and rain and all sorts.
Crisis averted. Okay.
Did you get that, Jay? The dreadnought has moved.
Yep, got it.
So that was my card. Return it to the bottom of the deck. Choose a new card. Okay.
I'm back after closing blinds.
Okay. That was my move.
Okay. All right. Well, I am going to assault center.
Oh.
4 units in the center, which is pretty much going to be all of them.
4 units.
4 units, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So let's start with my destroyers.
Also, we should point out to people, obviously there was no action there because at the moment still way out of range. So
Right. Well, your destroyer could have shot at my fighters. It's got a range of 3. Here.
No, you're still. Oh, these. Oh, actually, yes, they could have done, couldn't they? Didn't think of that, buddy.
Okay. Shall we?
What? Do some shooting?
Well, do you want to shoot?
Well, hell yeah.
It's a friendly game.
It's a friendly game. Okay. So I shoot at the range of 3 with. Hang on. How many dice?
That's 1 die. It's
1
on the token.
Okay, people. This is my funky dice rolling thing, which I might as well use. So, folks, I don't know if you can see, but I'm rolling a die, and it's come up as an orange bang.
Okay.
Jay.
All right. Well, that's gonna be 1 fighter off then.
The sun always finds a way to get through even the shadiest of minds.
That's a blast symbol, they call it.
Mm-hmm. And I can't fire back. I don't have the range to fire back.
Okay, we'll just have a look there. Okay, result battle. So somewhere there's going to be a chart that tells me what that outcome is. What page should I be looking at?
It's on the card. your standard destroyer squadron.
All right.
The unit hits on the orange, and my fighter does not ignore your orange.
Ice on the other card. So I've blown up a fighter.
Yep.
Yay!
Destroyers doing what destroyers do.
Destroy.
Well done, boys. So
Okay.
say we all.
Take a shot, Eric. Okay, so my destroyers on your right in the center are going to move.
Okay, there's an interesting thing here.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at your card for your standard long-range fighter squadron,
Yeah.
it says shields and maneuver, ignore blast, 1 capital class.
Yeah, that's not a capital class ship, though. That's
All
a strike,
right.
that's a strike
If I
ship.
had a capital class ship shooting at you, you would have ignored that blast.
Correct.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Of course, we can speculate as to why that it would ignore a blast from a capital ship and not a destroyer.
Maybe I'm sure there's some PSB in there that we don't need to get into.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So on your right, my left, 3 destroyers. We're going to move the full movement, and that's going to be, let's see, how do I want to do that? Straight ahead. Did you get that, Henry?
Sorry, I've just realised I've got these combat cards as well, which I've completely forgotten about, and obviously need to be aware of using them as well where appropriate. So please repeat your order, sir.
Okay, it's going to be the destroyers on your right.
Yeah.
Are going to move straight forward.
Uncle Chris.
They're going to go straight forward. Okay, Chris, my brother, says, good morning, chaps. Good morning.
Hi, Chris. Hope you're well, mate.
Yeah, we are not in our usual place because someone in his workplace has come up sick, but we're not sure how badly yet. So we're practicing our distancing, and we're going to go from there. All right. Yep, that's where it's going to go, right where your hand is.
So they're advancing how far?
No, they're in the center, Henry.
Those ones?
Yes. Straight forward. 2.
So there?
Yes.
Okay, my friend.
Okay, next.
Cat and mouse game. Are they shooting anything?
No, it's all movement then all shooting.
Okay. All right. Yes, okay.
Okay, next up will be the fighters that are on your left.
In the far corner?
No, in the center sector.
The ones that I shot at?
Yep. They're going to move their full 4 and come up next to your destroyers.
1, 2. That's a move of 3.
They've got a move of 4. It's
What?
the number of hexes on the token.
Sorry. They're moving 4 where? Into the asteroid field?
No, next to your destroyers.
Yeah, but that's only 1, 2, 3.
No, your other destroyers in the center, Henry.
Oh, those destroyers.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. So in front of my flagship.
Yes.
Oh, bold move. Bold move.
Fortune favors the bold, Henry.
Yeah, that's what the Scots Greys said at Waterloo. Okay, mate.
All right. And then the battleship.
Wait, can I have a turn, please?
You can move the next ones.
Okay.
Battleships are going to move forward 2.
So which battleships, Jay? I can't. These battleships are moving forward 2.
Mm-hmm. Straightforward.
To be next to the destroyers?
Correct.
Okay.
Eric says social distancing from Chris is always a good idea. Concur. And then the flagship, my 4th unit, will move forward and to your left 1.
So here, just tucked in behind the asteroids.
Correct.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Now you're going to do some shooting?
Of course I am.
Okay. Because at the end of this move, Jay, I'm going to have to go and make myself another drink, buddy.
No worries. Okay. First off, we'll start with my fighters. They are at range 2 to your flagship.
Yeah.
They're going to roll 1 die.
Okay.
I get a green, no hit.
Okay.
All right, so they're done. My flagship will now fire.
Yeah.
At a range of 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 3 dice.
At my destroyers.
At the destroyers. In Hyde. I got a green and a red alert.
And a square.
The square doesn't count. Green doesn't count, but the red alert only counts if there's a hit, right?
Correct. And there's no hit.
And there's no hit. Okay, my battleships, I'm going to use the combat card called the Capital Ship Super Phaser.
Oh my.
I want to try that.
Play this card after a capital ship combat roll. Each red alert rolls will also score 1 hit. So I guess I can use that now. And so that was a red alert, which also scores a hit, which I would interpret that to mean that that's a hit and a red alert now.
So what did you roll in all, Jay?
The demonic screeching
It was a red alert, a green, and a purple.
A red alert, a green, and a purple.
Yeah, and according to this card, play this card after Capital Ship's combat roll. Each red alert rolled will also score 1 hit.
Oh, okay. All right. So if you've scored a hit, I just take off a model.
Mm-hmm. And you place a red alert token.
Right, a red alert token. And what does a red alert token do, Jay? You're about to tell me.
Okay. We'll consult the book.
Yeah. Red alert. After all hits have been taken and ship figures are removed, red alerts are resolved. A roll of a red alert is a signal there's some sort of crisis on the ship that needs to be resolved. Could be collateral damage, shields down, warp core breach, engineering issue, and so on. When one or more hits are scored on the unit and one or more red alerts are rolled during the combat, the targeted unit must retire. A unit does not have to retire if one or more red alerts are rolled, but no hits are rolled during the combat. So I don't have to retire. When one or more hits are scored and 1 red alert is rolled, you didn't score any hits. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. A unit must always retire towards a unit, may never retire sideways, unit may never. So basically, because you didn't also score any hits, I can stay where I am.
That works for me.
It says some situations allow you to disregard a single red alert rolled against it. When one or more hits are scored on a unit, a single red alert is rolled against a unit. Flagship can disregard a single red alert. Some units, when adjacent to a flagship, can disregard a red alert. Disregarding a red alert is not allowed when one or more hits are scored on the unit and 2 or more red alerts are rolled. The unit must retire. So potentially a red alert would force me to retire, but because you scored no hits alongside the red alerts, I'm okay. Yep.
Sure.
That's page 19 of the rule book, folks, in case you're wondering. So I breathe a huge sigh of relief.
Well, Bohica.
Yep. Right, I need to go and make myself a drink, my friend, because I'm.
Well, I still got some shooting to do.
Oh God, damn! Go on then.
I got the battleship. 3 dice.
I was hoping you would forget that.
May I please roll the dice?
You may roll the dice. Joey's rolling the dice. You're done for.
This guy. Wait, what do I need to roll?
Okay, you need to roll blues or oranges or a red alert. That's a blue and an orange.
And an orange. We're in luck.
That's a blue and an orange. That unit is Gonzo.
Fonzo.
Don't think I'm ever speaking to you again, Jay.
Hey, Joey rolled the dice. Blame him.
Yeah, well, he's your kid, mate. You didn't bring him up right, did you? That's all I can say. You blasted my destroyers.
We did it.
That's all right.
I'm not.
Since we went out. It's okay.
Now you've upset me. Can I go and make myself a drink?
Yes, please. Okay,
Right.
while Henry takes this break to get himself a cup, let's go ahead and, if you got any questions, go ahead and ask for either Henry or Joey or myself. Just a reminder, there are numerous companies out there that are doing PDFs. Help those small companies out by purchasing PDFs. I just want to mention the dudes at what the heck is it called, John? It's Small Wars TV. Yep, Small Wars TV. They've got the Ultra Freedom Rules, which you can purchase as a download. I do notice that their Gettysburg Campaign scenario pack is free to download as well. I think it's on like $15 or $20 for the Ultra Freedom Rules. John can back me up on that if you're still listening, John. The rules are army level, so each base is a brigade, each maneuver unit is a division. So they're really interesting. One of the cool things about the rules is that they have a mechanism where you bid command points to each unit, and the more command points they have, the more likely they are to get to do their actions. And then there's kind of like a timing mechanism. I won't go into too much detail, but basically one of the players can determine how many action points get used in a particular move. It's pretty neat system. So I think that's acw6mm.com. I'll just verify this real quick. That's the Ultra Freedom Rules, ACW6mm, I think, or maybe it's 6mm ACW. 6mm ACW. Yes, 6mmacw.com is the URL you want to go to find Ultra Freedom, and you can get those from. Okay, yep. John Yingling is confirming that 15 for the base rules, so that's a heck of a deal. It's a fun rule set, and I'll just put this in the comments myself so that everyone can see it. 6mm ACW.
Wait, wouldn't it be funny if it was actually just a link to getting rickrolled?
No, there's no rickrolling going on. Okay. And John says also War Games Vault.
Click. Never gonna give you up.
Okay, there's the URL to get to the site for Ultra Freedom Rules. They really are a lot of fun. Okay, and also, Sam Mustafa, not former, but a friend of the show and rules publisher. He's got a number of PDFs available as well for download. We're big fans of his Free Jumper Starship Combat Rules. Those are a lot of fun. why don't you go ahead and check Sam out. His honor system. He's got a number of rules for the honor system. Let me see. Get this. There it goes. There's the URL, just sammustafa.com. Pretty easy to get to. Chris reminds us about Fistful of Lead from Wiley Games. Fistful of Lead is a lot of fun. Kind of a skirmishy game. He is working on what he's calling bigger battles. And we'll get the URL for that here.
Wait, did Wiley Games make the robots that I got?
No.
Who made them, though?
Wait, what robots?
You know, aliens.
No, Wiley Games doesn't make any miniatures, just rules, buddy.
Okay. Well, come on. I'll just go get something.
Okay. Okay, and there's the URL for Wiley Games where you can download Fistful of Lead and the various variants that they've got. There's a horse and musket variant available. The original Fistful of Lead's a Old West game. There's also a science fiction version called Galaxy Heroes.
Who made this again? This thing?
Oh, that is Micropanzer.
Oh.
So, unfortunately, we're talking about PDF rules and other supplements. Joey's showing off a Micropanzer Grung figure that he got at Recruits.
It's not a Grung, though.
What's it called?
I think they're called Gatungi.
Gatungi, that's it, yeah. So those are pretty cool.
Grungs are just a tribe of frogs.
Oh, that's right. That's a different thing. You did get some Grung also, but...
Yeah. And I paid them up to live in the cold.
Yep. So lots of PDFs are out there, and if you're wondering how you can support those small producers, that's the way to do it. Do the PDFs. They don't have to worry about shipping you anything. They don't have to worry about their supply line. It's all out there on the web already. Make sure you are paying for them. Okay, it takes a lot of hard work to get a PDF together, not only the content, but the layout and the art and all that good stuff. So do the right thing. Pay for your PDFs. Okay, let's see. All right.
I want that more Gatungi.
Okay. Eric says, well, my money is now on Joey winning now. Keep it up, Joey. Burn out those dice before you're old enough for the big games at J3.
Thank you, sir.
A big thank you from Joey. Eric. So, interesting things are afoot in the Kriegspiel. I won't go into too much detail in case someone from Blue is listening.
Also, you should totally buy these.
Yeah, you should buy the Gatungi once everything returns to normal, because I don't know what's up with Jason right now. Okay. If there's any questions from the floor, I'll be more than happy to take those from those of you all who are watching and listening. If you want to show us what your... okay. Looks like Michael Campbell has posted a photo on Twitter, and he's tagged me and Henry. Those are looking very nice indeed. Thank you for sharing, Michael. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Here, let me... Apparently I can share the screen.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to share a screen real quick. We're going to show, okay, these are the ships that Michael's working on right now, if everyone can see that.
I brought in Jerry the Gatungi. Got my name with Jerry.
So those are looking pretty nice. That's contrast. Those are contrast paints on top of just right on top of, I'm not sure what color undercoat he used, but Michael, hopefully you'll tell us what you're using there. Okay, you've got your beverage, Henry.
I'm going to have a cold pizza.
All right, well, let's continue on. And it's your turn, bud. Oh, I forgot. At the end of the turn, you have your choice. You get a command card and your choice of, I think it's 2 stars or 1 star and a combat card.
Oh, so should I have done that as well?
Yeah.
So 2 stars or 1 star and a combat card. All right. Well, I'll do a 1 star and a combat card. Do you replace combat cards as you use them in the same way as you do command cards, or do they get used up?
Well, let me go ahead and read this real quick. After all unit movements and combats have been resolved, the active player will discard the command card played face up. Blah, blah, blah. Active player then has a choice of taking 2 star tokens or taking a 1 star token and drawing 1 combat card.
Right. Well, for that turn I missed doing it, I've taken 1 combat card and 1 star.
Fair enough.
And you've done, what are you doing, buddy?
I played a combat card. So I'm going to draw a combat card and 1 star. Okay, Michael says he's pleasantly pleased with the results himself. I just posted, or I just shared the picture of what he's posted on Twitter. And as he says, just a flat white spray primer. Very nice. Let us know what color or shade of red that says. And then Henry said, or Derek says, Henry, Beth says it's great. You're finally playing the game. Well, my Beth gave me the stink eye earlier for taking so long to get started. So,
okay,
All right, it's time to finally roll.
Stop,
Please.
no.
Jay.
Henry.
My question is, I just drew a combat card and a star, but that now means I've got 5 combat cards in my hand. Does that mean I have to discard one? Because I started the game with 4 combat cards. Are you allowed to have more combat cards as the game progresses?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I'm trying to find this. It's going to be in the rules somewhere, but... Start at combat cards. Here we go, page 24. There is no limit to the number of combat cards a player may hold unless the scenario battle notes state otherwise. So that's fine. So it's only if at some point it says you're only allowed to hold a maximum of X number of cards that you would have to discard one. So that's cool. Right, I am ready to rock and probably roll because you've destroyed a unit of mine.
Okay, Michael says it's contrast Blood Angels red. When in doubt, go with the classics. Agreed.
Yep. Okay, this is gonna be... This is gonna be Probe Center. 1 order to 2 units in the center sector.
Bring it.
Okay. Order number 1 is these cruisers are advancing 2 hexes. So the cruiser's just behind my flagship, right in the center.
Okay.
They're advancing 2 hexes, so through the gap between the flagship and the other cruisers, and they're going to just by that asteroid field.
Next to my fighters? No, wait, I see. Okay.
Not next to your fighters, there's a gap.
Yep.
So they're not entering close combat with your fighters. In terms of movement, that's all the movement I'm doing. So I'll discard that. But I'm shooting, buddy. My flagship is opening up at your fighter unit
Okay.
at a range of 2.
Yep.
And does it tell me something wonderful about how many Watsits I throw from my flagship? My flagship battles with 3 dice plus 1 die for each cat fighter. So I'm battling with 6 dice. Okay. Against your fighters. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
You get a die for each cat fighter?
It says flagship. Okay. Top of the.
Yep. Yeah, that's in close quarters, though. That's in adjacent Texas.
Poo and bum. So that means I actually get to roll just 3 dice. Correct?
Yep.
Oh. Oh. So I need greens and blasts, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I get 2 stars and a blue.
Yeah.
That's nothing. That's rubbish.
Oh, that's right, because I ignore stars. Right?
Yep. Okay, so then I'm going to shoot with my cruisers, who also roll 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, this is pathetic. I get a blast. And you have to take it because the cruisers aren't capital ships.
Yep.
And the others were 2. I got 2 blue triangles as well. So, remove a fighter.
I did.
Yay! So,
Okay,
that was a bit.
Flatten that out, please.
That was a bit rubbish, actually. So, what I do is I take a new command card off the top of the deck. And of course, I'm now realizing I should have. So now I can take 2 stars or a star and a tactical card, yeah?
Yep.
I'm going to take a couple of stars. At some point, I'm going to remember what the stars do.
Okay. All right. So you're done.
Okay. What I have to remember is fuel the special action.
Thank you.
Right. So we should explain to people what stars do. You can play them in. You can use them to fuel a combat card.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can spend 2 star tokens to move a unit an extra hex, or 2 star tokens to have a unit battle back, or 2 star tokens to have an engineering rectifier red alert. Spend a star token to remove a red alert marker from an ordered unit. Spend 2 star tokens to remove a red alert marker from a unit that's not ordered. Or spend 2 star tokens to have a destroyer unit execute a pursuit move and bonus combat maneuver. Ooh! The true light cavalry roll. Okay, my friend.
Yep. All right.
So,
Fortune's going to continue to favor the bold. I'm going to play the Warp Charge card.
right.
Also known as the...
Hold 1 second, Jay. Hold 1 second, sorry. Annie, darling, could you bring me up 2 Canderel tablets, please? I forgot to put them in my coffee. Sorry, Jay. Just
No worries.
I hadn't sweetened my coffee, and I'm a guy who needs some sweetener in my coffee, or I might actually have a fit.
I figured you were sweet enough as it is.
Oh, bless you. You're so lovely. Yes, people, I can get all Kenneth Williams. Here's Annie
Okay.
saying, Annie,
Hi.
duck down.
Hello.
Hello.
And how nice that she's wearing red as well. See? Team spirit in the Hyde household. Isn't that nice?
How lovely.
How lovely.
Yeah, this is the Annie, folks, that's put up with me for
Far too
30
long.
years. 30 years.
Excellent.
Thank you, darling. Right, sorry, Jay.
No,
As
don't
you were,
don't worry. My extremely patient wife Beth has put up with me for coming up on 17, so we're right behind you.
Cool.
Okay, so we're doing a warp charge.
With
Okay.
whom?
What's that?
With whom?
Okay, this is going to be up to 3 units in one or more sectors are ordered to warp charge. Units may move up to 3 hexes and engage in close quarters
Oh my God. This is going to be a mess.
with 1 additional die. Units
Oh,
may not use range combat. Units that pursue in bonus combat do so with normal combat dice. Okay. So, 3 hexes. We're going to take this fighter. He's going to go around back your flagship.
1, 2, here.
Yep, to your left behind the flagship.
Okay.
My battleship is going to come up forward 1, 2, 3 hexes to be just off the right of your flagship to the front.
So here between the flagship and the cruisers.
Correct.
Oh my goodness.
And then my flagship's going to come up behind my battleship and in front of your cruiser.
How far can your flagship move?
Well, with this card, 3.
All right. So it's going to be here.
Yep.
If I didn't know you better, JR, I would say that's a slightly aggressive move.
Slightly.
Come on, can I roll?
Yes, you absolutely may roll, Joey. You need 4
Ow.
dice.
So,
Hold on. How many dice do you have there? 3? Okay. We're going to start with 4 dice from the fighter against your flagship.
4 dice.
Yep, I get +1 dice in the close
2,
combat.
1.
Oh, snap. Okay, we've got a red alert and 2 purples. So you lose 2 fighters. And you've got a red alert.
On my flagship.
Yep.
Okay. So now, does that, for the purposes of the red alert rule, does that count as 2 hits? Even though it was on the fighters and not the thing itself?
That's an excellent question. I mean, that's kind of their purpose is to die.
Flagship. I can ignore blast from 1 strike class and 2 fighter class.
Those are all purples.
Are they all purples?
Mm-hmm.
And I can ignore 1 red alert, it says.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's 1 red alert.
So
We'll remove that token then.
I have. With alacrity, my dear fellow, with alacrity.
Well, Derek is saying 28 years. Very nice. Congratulations, Derek.
Congratulations, Derek.
Okay. So what's next, buddy?
Okay. Up next, we'll do the battleship against your flagship.
Now, this is an ordinary standard battleship squadron, isn't it?
Correct. Okay, Joey, that's another 4 dice, buddy. Do you want to fight back? Do you want to shoot back against the fighter? That's going to cost you stars.
Oh, I see. But if I shoot back against the fighter, can I shoot back against your battleships?
I think you can only fight back once. Let me double check that.
Get the fighter.
Okay, spend 2 star tokens to have a unit battle back. Note a unit may battle back against each attack so long as a player has star reserves.
Oh, so I could battle back against the fighters and battle back against. In which case, I'm going to battle back against your fighter.
Okay.
Boy. So I get to roll like 1,000,000 dice, was it?
4 dice. No, 3 dice.
Actually, it's 2 because it's point blank.
2 plus the 1 for the fighter.
Ah, yes. 3 dice. Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
So to get your fighter, I need to roll greens and blasts. And I roll neither, but I roll a red alert.
Okay. Which doesn't mean anything because...
Yep. Doesn't mean anything.
Yep. And Chris tells us, 20 years together, my wife is an absolute saint for putting up with me. I can confirm. All right. Our battleship. And you've paid your 2 star tokens, yes?
Yeah, oh, good point. 2 star tokens go in the bin. There we go.
All right. Now, Joey, we've got our battleships to fight. That's 4 dice, please. Wow!
Oh, no.
That's 3 blasts.
Against my flagship.
Triangle.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Boom, boom, boom.
So what, you've blown up my flagship?
I have blown up your flagship.
Let me just let that sink in. You've blown up my flagship.
Yeah. Fortune favors the bold, Henry. I thought we already discussed this.
And the cat fighter goes with it because it only exists when it's protecting the flagship, doesn't it?
Yep. Unless there's some special wonky rule about it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you can understand. I'm not terribly happy about that. I thought Jay was my friend.
Also, I should note that you are going to lose a command card out of your hand permanently.
Because of the damn... Well, there's one now.
And since we're talking about matrimony, John Yingling tells us 22 years this April. Well, congratulations, John. That's excellent.
I lose the command card immediately, do I? I
presume so.
My hand. Okay, so I'm down to 4 command cards.
Oh, Derek asked, does Henry get to transfer his flag? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Derek's fighters take a hit on the flagship. Well, let's get Derek's comment up there. I don't know about that, Derek. And then Eric asked fighters take a hit for the flagship. I thought they acted like damage reduction. They do basically hit points. But Eric, Joey rolled 3 blasts, and he only had the 1 fighter plus the ship left. So unless there's some sort of special rule that I'm not tracking on.
I can't see anything about
special rules for flagships.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so now are you going to fight with your flagship?
Oh, certainly, yes. I've got those those cruisers to worry about.
Oh, it says when a capital ship is eliminated and the last figure is removed from the battlefield, place a capital ship debris tile on the hex.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one of these circular things. So that's there. So it says a unit may not move into a ship debris tile. The hex with ship debris tile is considered impassable. A unit may not retire onto or through a ship debris tile. Ship debris tile will block line of sight. There you go. So, ouch, ouch, and many, many ouches.
That'd be a fun modeling project to make those. And
Yeah.
I noticed that Plastic Soldier Company has big bags of ship models you can get.
All right. Well, you could just make like shards of bits and pieces.
Yep. Well, Eric's got your back, Henry. He says at least Henry can say he was fighting two opponents.
Thank you.
And Derek says, so say we all.
So say we all.
Then Eric asks, who comes after the Secretary of Education in the government chain of leadership? Interesting. Okay. All right. We still got fighting to do.
Okay, yeah, you've got your flagship to do something
My
with.
flagship is going to roll 3 dice against your cruisers. Joey, go ahead and roll 3 dice, please.
Okay. Here you go.
Thank you.
Gotta get a good one.
Yep, got to get a good one. Okay, we got a blue and a blast.
In which case, you've blown 2 things up.
Oh, wait, hold on. We get 3 more dice because we have the fighters in cap also. 3 more dice, Joey. And 2 red alerts.
Right, well, hang on.
Rocket says it's time for trouble. Make it tough.
Okay. Oh, I'm a stupid man. Oh, I'm really stupid. Oh, I'm a stupid man. I'm a stupid man. Okay, so basically, I've got to lose 2 cruisers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I've got to take a retreat.
Yes.
Because it looks like I... hang on, you've got 2 red alerts. Did you say?
Yes.
2 red alerts. Oh, right. Well, that's... How far does people have to retreat with a red alert? Because that might take me right off the table.
Okay, 2 red alerts. The unit must retire 4 hexes. Yep.
1, 2, 3 off the table.
Ha ha! Nice rolling, Joey.
That depends on your perspective.
Here, just put that in the box. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done.
Wow.
We have formed what's called a salient in our line, Joey.
How brutal is that?
A salient is a position from which you can be attacked on 3 sides.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's a risk.
We got to block up that salient.
Okay, John tells us that the Secretary of Veteran Affairs is after Secretary of Education.
Wow. Okay. That's really, really, really...
Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and take 2 stars and draw a command card. I don't know about you, Henry, but I'm having grand fun.
Just, I tell you what, just rub it in.
Oh, I will.
There's me looking at my now massively reduced hand of cards.
I'll tell you what, I drew another warp charge, but I put it back in the deck just for you.
Mate, you do whatever you... No, come on, take it out again.
Nah, that's good.
Don't have to do that. Mate, I will stand or fall on my own recognizance. Okay. Okay, so right, okay, so that's all. Okay. Okay, all right. Well, here we go. I'm going to try something because it's all wiki wacky. I need to keep my brain in order because it's really. I should explain to you. It's quite challenging because when you've got the additional combat cards, the potential permutations of what you can do just kind of multiplies, doesn't it? So what you need to do is think in terms of all these different options, which makes it much, much more complex than, say, a game of Commands and Colors Ancients.
Think long, think wrong.
Okay. I could do that, or I could do that. Okay. Wow, that's really. But you can only play one combat card per turn, can't you? Right, okay. Okay, what I'm going to do is this. I've got an advanced left wing with 3 units.
Okay.
But I've also got a battle plan card that enables me to order 1 additional unit in each of the other 2 sectors at the same time. It's costing me 2 stars, so I'm going to spend those. So let's have a look. I've got 3 units on the left. Let's see how we roll. So I have destroyers that can move 3. Is that? No, 2, isn't it? So let's have a look here. And I've got cruisers that move 2 as well. So here's how this is going to happen. Destroyers. These destroyers that are on the dividing line.
Okay.
They're coming back this way. 1, 2 to be next to your battleship unit.
Got it.
Okay. I have got these cruisers out on the left.
Okay.
They are going to move 1, 2 to be next to that hex with the shards in.
Okay.
Okay. The fighter unit is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to be next to your fighter unit.
In your rear.
So,
right.
So they're
okay.
right next to your fighter unit. So I've got destroyers next to the battleships, cruisers next to the shards, and fighters next to your fighter. Okay. Then in the other 2 sectors, right, I'm counting these cruisers as the center sector. So the cruisers are moving next to your battleships here. Okay, they're just moving the 1 hex to be there. Okay.
All right.
And then, in a surprise move, I'm going to move these destroyers on my right-hand sector 1 hex to the left to be to remain next to the cruisers. Okay.
Okay. Who's moving?
So the destroyers that were next to my dreadnought.
Okay.
On my right flank are moving 1 hex to the left, putting them next to my cruisers.
Okay.
Now I'm going to do some shooting. So the command card, combat card, I throw that away and draw a fresh one. That I put in the bin and draw a fresh one for later. So I'm going to do some shooting, Jay. Starting with the destroyers that are next to your battleships here. My destroyers Standard Destroyer Squadron. At close range, roll 3 dice against your battleships. And so
Okay.
I'm looking for purples and blasts.
Well, you'll need multiple blasts because I'll ignore one of the blasts.
Yep. Purples and blasts. And I get none of those. This isn't going to be my day at this rate, is it?
No, I'm going to go ahead and spin 2 stars to go back right at you.
Yeah, I thought you would.
3 dice, Joey, please. We're looking for blues and blasts.
Not my dice day, folks.
Yeah, go ahead and roll them.
Okay, let's put these off to the side.
Sure.
Get a good one, Joey. Get a good one.
Oh,
Not our lucky day.
we got a green, a star, and a purple. We got nothing. Well, I got a star back.
Huge sigh of relief there. Okay, so my cruisers now at a range of 2. These cruisers are going to shoot, and the standard cruisers get 3 dice. And again, so it's against your battleships, I'm looking for purples and blasts, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
So, folks, I get nothing. You're going to spend more stars to shoot back against these cruisers?
Yeah, I might as well. Was there a penalty for shooting through debris field?
Well, it's along the line of the hex. It's not through the debris field, buddy.
Well, fair enough. Okay. All right. So, Joey, that's 2 hexes away. That's 3 more dice.
Okay. 3 more dice, please.
Yes. You've got 3 dice. Roll those 3 dice.
A blast, a red alert, and a star.
Yeah, we got a blast, a red alert, and a star, so I get a star back.
Right, hang on. So a blast is a kill. And you give me a red alert. Jay?
Yep.
There was 1 red alert, so I have to retreat them 4 hexes.
2 hexes. 1 red
2.
alert, 2 hexes.
Beg your pardon. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Red alert token. Or could I have spent money there, stars, to get rid of the red alert?
Yes.
Okay, so I would have had to spend 2 tokens.
You can spend 2 star tokens to have engineering rectify 1 red alert.
And I spend 1 star token to remove a red alert marker. So I'm going to take them back, take off the red alert, and spend a star.
Well, it's 2 during the turn that it's applied.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes.
There it is. 2 spent. Let's stand where they get. Oh, right. These fighters against your lonely fighter. Please, Lord, can I roll a bit better? This is getting tedious. So my fighters have 3 dice. Everyone's got 3 dice against your little fighter. Please, can I kill a fighter? Just 1 little fighter. That would be enough. I'd be happy. Just 1 little fighter. Greens and blasts. No. I don't believe it. I think I need to sandblast these dice or something.
Well,
Okay.
Henry, if it makes you feel any better, I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to fight back.
Go ahead.
Joey, roll 3 dice again, buddy.
What do I need to roll?
You need to roll greens or blasts. We got 1 blast.
Meanwhile, back on the ranch,
I have to say, after our last Commands and Colors Napoleonics game, I'm quite enjoying this.
I bet you are. I bet you are. Moving to my other squadron of cruisers over here. Again, it's the 3 lucky dice against your battleships. Come on. What can I say? I've just rolled 3 green spots. So that is, yeah, I won't use the word I was going to use. That is sweet Fanny Adams.
Oh, goodness.
Are you going to battle back against them?
Who are you
You might-
battling against? The destroyers?
The cruisers.
The
You
cruisers?
might just sit there and laugh at them. You don't actually need to shoot at them.
Well, I might as well. 2 stars, yes. And Joey, 3 dice, please. And this is against the cruisers, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, don't make a show of it. Just do it. Okay, we got a blue and a blast.
A blue and a blast against cruisers.
So that's 2 models.
So a blue and a blast. That is, in fact, 2. That's crazy.
Hey, cardinal rule: if you're don't roll dice against a kid.
So finally, my destroyers are going to shoot at not them. They're going to shoot at your flagship. My
Okay.
destroyers over here, destroyer squadron, 2 dice at the range of 2. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what fun! I get a blast and a blue. That's something.
That's 1 fighter.
That is 1 green fighter. Thank you.
And my flagship, I'll expend my last 2 star tokens, and my flagship will fire back at 3 dice. Okay, we got a blast and a star, so I get a star token back. You lose
So
1 destroyer.
I've lost the destroyer.
Mm-hmm. No. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Okay.
So now it's your move.
Okay. Let me get
hang
caught
on.
up on some comments here.
Hang on, I've got to get 2 star tokens or a star token and a combat card, haven't I? I'm going to just take 2 star tokens, buddy. So also, that's gone. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, just to get caught up while you're thinking about that, I'm going to get caught up on some comments here. Okay. Eric says, ouch, Henry, I guess now is not the time to request the assistance of your dreadnought to assist in the defense of the Red Republic.
Ha!
John says, when in doubt, charge. Okay, Chris says, what's the current VP tally? What's the VP goal to win? VP tally, I've got 14. Victory is at 21, or 8 units. I've got 3 units destroyed. Chris also wants to know if anybody plays Memoir 44.
No.
Have or play it. Michael Campbell says, poor Henry, the dice gods are totally giving him the finger.
Yeah.
Derek thinks you need a dice tower. And Chris says, apparently what he needs is a kid under 12 to roll his dice. Can confirm.
I should probably get one of my cats to roll the dice at this
Is this
rate.
how you roll a cat? Is this how you roll a dice tower?
Not exactly.
Join has just joined in. Hello,
Okay.
third line. That's how you roll a dice tower.
Okay. Well, I'm going to probe center, Henry. That's two units in the center sector. And, well, I'm just going to order my flagship and my battleship.
What a surprise.
I think what I'll do is I'll just shoot with my flagship first.
All right, let's see.
Hold on. That's 3 dice, Joey, against the destroyer. Well, hold on a second. No, I don't have any. I don't have enough coins to do anything. But go ahead. Yeah, flagship 3 dice against the destroyers. Oh, we got a blast and a star token, so I get a star token back. So that's 1 destroyer down. That's in the center there. Do you want to shoot back?
Hang on, what? These ones next to the...
Next to the battleship, yes. Yes.
Sorry, I took it off that one by mistake. Okay, do I want to battle back? Do I want to battle back? Let me have a think about that. Yes, I want to battle back.
Okay.
Oh,
I should have moved up close to him. Oh, well. That's all right.
Okay, so 3 dice, because we're at point blank.
No, this is with the flagship, not the battleship. That's going to be 2 dice.
Oh, it's him shooting at them.
Mhm.
Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to stop rolling them on my dice tray. Maybe that's the problem. I get a purple and a star.
Okay, so you get a star back, and I lose a fighter off that unit.
Well, that is something. You said I get a star back?
Yes.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah. If you roll a star, you get a star.
Well, that, my friend, is something I overlooked last time. But never mind. Okay. Obviously, the problem was my dice tray.
Obviously.
Yeah, the hexagonal dice tray with cube dice obviously didn't like each other. That's what it is.
Okay, and then my battleship will fire at that same destroyer unit 3 dice, Joey, please. Okay, well, I got a red alert and a star.
Red alert. So
Yeah.
I can spend 2 star tokens.
No hits, it doesn't count.
Sorry?
No hits, it doesn't count.
Oh, right. Okay.
You want to shoot back at the battleships?
Yeah. Now that'll be 3 dice. Come on. A purple, a green, and a red alert.
Okay, well, the purple takes a battleship out.
Oh, yes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here all week. About time.
Well, we're coming up at 2 3/4 hours, Henry.
Wow.
Do we want to? I think folks are starting to stir here. We need to get on with our day, I think. Let's call it a draw for now. We'll both disengage, and then maybe we'll see about doing another one of these in the near future.
Okay, buddy. But with extra preparation time.
Yep.
Hit the ground running. Yeah, I think realistically it's what we're going to have to do because it's 3:45 here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm expected to do some things with some other people around about 4 o'clock. So
Yep.
thank you for the game, Jay. Well done. I would, I think that's very kind of you. I would say that you've had, yeah, I would say you've had the best of that by some margin. But obviously, you've not completely broken through my line. So I'm think, yeah, good point to go away and lick my wounds, frankly. Thanks
Well,
to it.
that's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. I definitely would like to see us play some more stuff like this, of course, and we'll figure out when we're going to do that. And we'll figure out what we're going to play.
Yeah.
And maybe sometime soon we'll get to play some Shot, Steel, and Stone.
Yay.
So maybe that'll be the next one. So
yeah. I also, as I said at the beginning, I'm quite impressed with this StreamYard software.
mm-hmm.
Seems to give good quality video and sound. So yeah, we'll try that again. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Really sorry it didn't get to the real climax as it should have been. And I'm, of course, regretting having spent a huge number of points on my dreadnought that's just sat up in the front flank there and done nothing. But isn't that always the way? You pay the money for the King Tiger tank, and look what happens. Nothing.
All righty. Well, Henry, thank you very much indeed. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll be seeing you again soon. Everyone who logged in to watch, thank you very much indeed. Thanks for your comments, your questions. Feel free to drop some more comments in the thread after we stop recording, or throw us a comment on Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks, everyone. Take care and stay safe, of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as always, if the wargaming you're having isn't any fun, you make it fun. That is all.
So say we all.
And bro.